Give us proof, not fiction. India slams Canadian intel report on foreign interference. Exclusive. India has strongly rejected the latest Canadian intelligence report alleging Indian involvement in foreign interference, calling it baseless, politically motivated, and a deliberate attempt to defame a sovereign democracy. Top government and intelligence sources in New Delhi said the report by the Canadian Security Intelligence Service (CSIS), released just hours after a diplomatic breakthrough between the two countries at the G7 summit, was timed deliberately to appease separatist lobbies and distract from Canada's failure to act against pro-Khalistan extremist groups operating openly on its soil. We categorically reject the CSIS report. It is not based on facts, but on fiction crafted for political purposes, top diplomatic sources in the government said. This is not national security, it is appeasement politics aimed at Sikh voters, particularly ahead of the anniversary of Hardeep Singh Nijjar's killing. Sources in the Indian establishment accused Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney's administration of ordering the report to counter domestic criticism following PM Narendra Modi's participation in the G7 summit. They called the timing not coincidental, noting that the report's release closely followed Modi's high-profile presence on the global stage and the resumption of diplomatic engagement between New Delhi and Ottawa. Indian officials questioned why the report fails to mention Khalistani extremist groups like Sikhs for Justice (SFJ) and Khalistan Tiger Force (KTF), organizations that India has officially designated as terrorist outfits. Canada has had no hesitation in labeling certain criminal gangs as terrorist entities, so why the hesitation in naming Khalistani groups that promote violence and receive backing from Pakistan's ISI, asked one official. New Delhi has long accused Canadian authorities of ignoring credible evidence of these groups' involvement in transnational crimes, including targeted killings in Punjab, and of allowing them to operate freely under the guise of political activism. Sources also pointed to Canada's credibility deficit in handling terrorism, citing its controversial role in the aftermath of the 1985 Air India bombing, which remains the deadliest terrorist attack involving a Canadian airline. This is not the first time Canada's intelligence agencies have chosen to look the other way when it comes to extremism within their own borders, said a senior intelligence official. India further accused Canada of failing to act on numerous letters rogatory LRs, formal requests seeking information and cooperation related to fugitives and terrorism suspects living in Canada. Why doesn't the CSIS report talk about the long list of Indian requests pending with Canadian authorities? A source asked. Responding to Canadian claims that it has credible evidence of Indian interference, Indian officials challenged Ottawa to present its case publicly. If there is proof, let it be shared with the international community. Otherwise, this is nothing more than a smear campaign tailored to domestic politics, the official said. They warned that such politically timed allegations undermine serious global efforts at counter-terrorism and harm bilateral relations. This kind of propaganda only emboldens extremist elements and weakens trust between nations. It's irresponsible and short-sighted, the source added. Swipe left for next video. The development comes at a time when both India and Canada are working on restoration of diplomatic ties that had been downgraded during Justin Trudeau's spat with India on the Khalistan issue, in which embassies in Ottawa and New Delhi had slashed staff in tit-for-tat measures. As India and Canada attempt to rebuild strained diplomatic ties, the fallout from the CSIS report threatens to derail that fragile process. For New Delhi, however, the message remains clear: it will not accept unsubstantiated accusations designed to serve short-term political goals. Latest blogs.